As long as you believe and call forth God into an object, God will become that object so that you can touch and relate to Him through that object. In every ancient religious tradition, they know this. They have ceremonies that celebrate when God's Spirit enters into an object and making it sacred. And those sacred objects are usually placed in a temple or a cathedral, and they're used when they perform blessings and baptisms and weddings and funerals because it holds that energy. So for example, in India they have Srimurtis. Srimurtis are pictures or paintings or statues of God. And sometimes they leave food out in front of the Srimurti, and they lock up the little sacred temple. I know what you're thinking, there's no rats, okay, whatever. And then they go in, because it's all sealed. And then they go back in the morning, and there's bites taken out of the food. Or the Srimurti will suddenly cry or bleed. Now they have that also in Catholicism. In Catholicism, there's instances of the statue of the Mother Mary weeping or crying, sometimes tears of blood. In Hawaii, we have this famous incidences of the paintings of Herb Cunny. He painted Hawaiian history, and the paintings are oil paints on canvas. But all of a sudden, the people and the boats in the painting will begin moving on their own, like they're alive. It's really freaky, but it happened a lot when he was painting. Now, these objects are sacred, not because they possess special powers, but because God's Spirit has entered into those objects in order to personally connect with you. If you're touching a tree while your heart breaks, the astounding thing about God is He'll become that tree so that He can be the one touching you while your heart breaks. I think that one thing we don't get about God, because we assume that He's so huge, is that the hugeness of God can only be experienced in the most miraculously small things. We experience the hugeness of God in the most miraculously small things. Because God is God having a deeply human experience. When you were a little kid and you carried your binky everywhere you went, God was inside your binky, so happy that you were carrying Him everywhere you went. God can love you through that object, like how Catherine's loved by her Snoopy. God can listen to you through that object, like how my mother's flowers listen to her complain all day long. And God can speak to you through that object, like how Sophia reads her Buddhist meditation book. God can be inside of everything you touch, because that's how God connects with you. Koala Bear was listening to a love song and his heart was breaking, so he asked me to hold him. And I realized that it wasn't Koala Bear, it was God. God wanted me to hold him while his heart was breaking. And so often we're the ones asking God to be bigger and stronger than we are so that we can rely on Him when we're weak. But God is in the earth, and although we're smaller than the earth, we're meant to care for the earth. God is in the sky, and although we're smaller than the sky, we're meant to make sure that it's clean and not polluted. God is in the ocean. Although we're smaller than the ocean, we are stewards of the sea. We should protect and care for all the objects where God places His Spirit, so that God can continue to love us and listen to us and speak to us and touch us through the things around us.